Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining me again. This is going to be a quick preview of Sweden's upcoming game against Germany. I'm going to just talk about the interesting decisions that Gerhardsson is going to have to make. I have an article up here from some of the stuff he said in press conference. But yeah, I just want to first of all say thank you to all the people that have been commenting recently. It's really nice to hear from you guys and speak and just kind of I really welcome any comments if you disagree or agree on stuff. It's just really nice to discuss things. That's kind of what I really like about starting this channel, is that there'll be people to talk to about Sweden. So I'm really thankful for the support I've had recently on the last few videos. So thank you for that. And so yeah, so this video I just kind of want to speak about the interesting dynamic of this game against Germany, where both teams are qualified. So it's not just us. We're both qualified on 6 points. The Poland and Denmark both lost 0 points, and it's left us. We obviously Sweden. When I refer to we Sweden, we've got one extra on goal difference by beating Poland by 3, which gives us an edge that a draw would see us through top of the group. And so what makes this whole situation a bit interesting is that I wouldn't say there's a massive advantage of coming first in this group or second. Considering Group D, France, Netherlands, or England, I think it's looking likely that it's going to be France and England, probably France top. But you don't really want to face any of those sides, or fairly equal France and England. So I don't think there's a massive advantage in going out and winning this game against Germany and putting yourself first. Obviously, momentum-wise, I was having a conversation with someone in a comment section under another video about. I think that you've got to find that balance of whether you rest players because you know that maybe this match doesn't matter that much, you're already through, or whether you try and keep momentum up. Obviously, ideally, maybe you rest players and you still keep the momentum up by win or draw and you're through first. I think that's probably the ideal world, of course, but it's about that balance, and Gerhardsson's going to have to find that. Like I said, really interesting match. Personally, what would I do? I don't actually. I feel like I would be probably quite happy with us resting a lot of our players. This is something that Gerhardsson, in this article from Sweden Herald, they spoke about how we have done it before. So I remember 2023 World Cup, we rotated. It says 9 players here, and that makes sense. I think it was only Eriksson and Ilestedt, the 2 centre-backs, stayed in. Everyone else we completely swapped out when we knew we were already through. The difference is that was against Argentina. Very different opposition to a German side that have won the Euro so many times and are maybe not big favourites, but one of the favourites. And this is something we've seen in the Olympics as well. So we know Gerhardsson, usually when there's nothing on a game, especially also when you consider, as I said at the start of the video, that there's no real difference between coming first and second. It's not like a massive advantage. I would therefore lean towards just resting. What's the point? Like I said, I think the only worry is if you rest loads of players and Germany go really strong and they beat you through like 3-0 or something, and you're kind of like, oh well, we rested a few players, it's fine. But still, I think that would still affect you psychologically. So it will also be dependent of what Germany do, really. I think I do have confidence in quite a lot of our players in different, I have confidence in any of our centre-backs. I think all of our centre-backs. Eriksson's not played yet, but Ilestedt and Sembrant, who would have been probably who are second choices, have both performed very well, and I'm expecting Eriksson will come in. I'll speak about that in a bit. But I think that there's a lot of areas, Nilden, Anderson, Lundqvist, Holmberg, these are all really, any of our defenders I'd be confident in starting in a match. Midfielders were a bit lighter, but I would be happy to see Benison come in. I think in terms of what I think we should do team-wise, I do think we should rotate those, and it's kind of like, okay, Angeldon's playing so well, you don't want her picking up an injury or anything, but also Angeldon's playing so well, should we just keep the momentum? Should we keep her form going? Keep building that form. Um, this is that's the question. Same with Kaneryd. She played so well against Poland. Do you want to play her again? Maybe get a goal, something like that. It does. That does make sense as well to me. So I don't want to just keep going on about this, but it's a balance. Maybe we'll rotate half the team. Maybe do you want Stine getting another goal? I think probably the big things is I think Eriksson will definitely come back in. She's back in training. She was back in training ahead of the Poland game. It makes sense for her to come back in. I see no reason why she doesn't come back in, especially just to build up some minutes. And I think she'd be first choice anyway. Rolfo, I expect to play as well. This feels like a perfect opportunity, a game with not much on it, just to build up fitness. We of course also want to be careful that we don't. I have a fear. She's such a good player. I have a fear that you don't want to break her, and or you don't want her to aggravate any injury and her just get injured, and then that's that. We kind of almost wasted playing her in a game which we didn't need to. So I guess that's just football. There's decisions like this to make every game. So yeah. Sorry, I've just slightly lost my train of thought. Anyway, so what Gerhardsson is saying is it sounds like a quote from him is it may be that we will not have the same starting 11. I have said some time that I will never have it, but we will see. Sometimes I surprise myself in the other direction as well, says Gerhardsson. So it's kind of like he's not really given us much there, to be fair. Now I've read it as I've seen this quite a few times now, and now I'm like a bit like I think he is implying with that. Sorry. I think he's been clear in other quotes as well before the tournament. He's happy to change winning teams. We know that, but also I think he might be planning not to. I think he might be planning to change loads, but he might also surprise himself. It's his point. He might suddenly go back to playing a really strong side. That's what I'm getting from that. There was something about the only small detail is you can look at is if we win, we will play the quarterfinal on Thursday, and our opponents will play the last group match on Sunday, so Group D. So they'll have one day less rest. It can sometimes be an advantage, which is true. And Richard Kaneryd speaks a bit about saying how we have a really strong squad, loads of players that can all come in and play. And she's confident we'll want to win the match. And I think we of course will want to win the match whenever. It is just it's a weird one. Obviously, I'm very glad to be in this situation that we're already qualified, and it's almost like I think we should take it as an opportunity to rest. The more I think about it, the more I do lean that way. And maybe that's really obvious answer for loads of people, but I always do think momentum is really important in tournaments. I was listening to the podcast Into the Channel. Really good podcast they do wrap-ups of each game, if that's something you're interested in, each game in the Euros so far. And they were talking about how they think Sweden's looking like the team that is building into the tournament quite well. Okay, and I know it's only been 2 match days, but that was something I agreed with in terms of, it's not like that's usually teams that build into a tournament well do well. The point is I slightly fear that if we rotate loads, we might lose that. I said the word loads, but that momentum, if it goes a bit wrong against Germany. I haven't really touched on Germany, but I think they've done as expected in terms of winning the games. Have they been amazing? No. I don't think they were as good as against Poland as we were. I think they've got some really good players, of course, like Schüller, Brand, Dolman. They lost Gwyn to an injury, which is obviously their captain, really strong right back. It's a shame for them, but I don't know how much that will impact them coming from that position on the pitch, but we will see. So, like I said, obviously good players, but I don't think they've really laid down a marker yet. So this could be a game they're looking to do that in. I think Christian Vuk is a really good manager. They're on a long unbeaten run, I believe. did well in the Nations League against Netherlands. So this is a top opposition, but I'm confident with how we've been playing. We've been playing really well. I'm just quite looking forward to maybe a few other players getting a chance. I do want to note that Asllani obviously picked up that yellow card, which was crazy. Did not deserve. She got pulled down, and then she pulled down the Polish player and got a yellow. She's so annoyed about it. Oh, there was another article here. And Gerhardsson is very annoyed. He's saying it's not that difficult, can't we? If she gets another yellow card, she's suspended. That's the issue. If she gets another yellow card in this game, then she'll be suspended for the quarter. So I honestly just would not play Asllani. We've got to manage her minutes anyway. She's obviously 35, so I don't see the point in risking her in a game like this. I would, especially with that yellow. She really, really fights really hard. She doesn't like kind of, she'll go into a tackle properly, and it would be a pretty big blow if we lost her because she's playing so well. So I think I'll just give Hurtig, and this is a perfect opportunity again for someone that's not played that much football, Hurtig, to just start a game and see how you go. We need her to be as sharp. Obviously, great goal last time out from Hurtig, but we want her to be as sharp. So I think that's something I know I will definitely do. I would not start Asllani in this game, and I'd be shocked if she is starting. It just doesn't. It won't make sense to me, fitness wise and yellow card wise. But yeah, so that's kind of my thoughts on the game, how I think we'll approach it. I'm obviously looking forward to it. Final group game, and then we go into a quarterfinal against a tough team. I realised that in my last reaction, I literally did not mention. I forgot to mention we were through to the quarters for so long in that video. Obviously, that was a big part of the game that we got through. So really, really happy. But this is something that we have experienced before, though, where a game you're already through, and now you've got to manage this game and then hit the next game. Hit the next game hard. But thank you, as I said. The views, I got loads of views on my last reaction to the Poland game, so I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. If you're new, thank you for subscribing. If not, subscribe, like, and comment. Like I said, I really like talking to people. It's really nice, people's comments. So thank you, and I will see you for a reaction after the Germany game.